Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 346. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic, family, is the 7 mindset shifts you must have in 2021 and beyond to be a successful entrepreneur. The 7 mindset shifts you must have in 2021 and beyond to be a successful entrepreneur. Now, before we get to today's message, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and my resource links, such as the link to my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollars Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses, and also 2 platforms I created to help circulate dollars in the Black economy, Be Smart by Black and HireBlackFreelancers.com, and also my new rebranded, rebooted BEB Academy that has all of my online courses and trainings. Also, I do want to send out an update on my new book, Message to the Black Entrepreneur. If you did order the book, I mentioned this about 2 weeks ago. We had some problem with the printer, and when it came back, it was minus like 8 or 9 pages. So I'm waiting for a reprint for that to come back. And as soon as I get it, I will definitely send out your copies. Now, let's get ready for today's show. All right, family, today's show is about mindset. So the 7 mindset shifts that you must have in 2021 and beyond to become a successful entrepreneur. So this is a mental game, family. That's what it's all about. It's a mental game. When my kids were little, I used to tell them, I said, if you can control that coconut on top of your neck, everything else is going to fall into place. So a lot of times when we're not successful, it's mental. We may not have the intestinal fortitude to move forward when we're running into walls or roadblocks. So we're going to talk about 7 different things that you need to change your mindset on. And so one of the things that I think today's show is really going to focus on is really about mastering yourself. Okay, so if you master yourself, you're going to master your destiny. If you master yourself, you're going to master your destiny. You know, there's things that we need to do and we know we need to do to get from point A to B. But unfortunately, a lot of times we don't do it. And it's basically having discipline and mastering yourself. And so really, when you realize the battle is really me against me, then you have the key to winning. The battle is really me against me. It doesn't matter what the outside forces are, because you'll figure out a way and find a way to be successful if that's what you really want to do. And yeah, I know a lot of times we're starting from different points in different places. Some people have a leg up. They may come from a family that has wealth. Other people may be coming from the mud. But guess what? It doesn't matter. In terms of wherever you are, that's where you got to start. It doesn't matter what another man or woman starts from. It all's based on where you are. So the beauty of it is that there's people that came from nothing that turned into millionaires, billionaires. So it's possible. So it's almost like a puzzle, family. Life is like a puzzle. You got to figure out what the pieces are and how you fit these pieces together to move from where you are to where you want to be. And so what we're going to talk about today, fam, is once again 7 mindset shifts that we need to take to elevate our business in 2021 and beyond. But first, I want to identify who this is for. So this is actually for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're employed right now and you're looking to start a business or you currently have a business. So some of these mindset shifts that I'm going to talk about are for people that are currently employed looking to transition from employee to entrepreneur. And I know during a study, I talked to tons of people as a coach and as an advisor and mentor. And I know there are tons of people out there right now that are in this position that are working in corporate America. You may be driving to work right now listening to this, that want to transition to an entrepreneur. So mindset shift number one. This is the first mindset shift you need to make. And these are some of the things that need to change. Mindset shift number one that you have to really focus on: your relationship with your job. Your relationship with your job. Now, once again, it's only applicable to people that are currently employed. But let's get it straight right now, family. You are a line item on somebody else's balance sheet. You're a line item on somebody else's balance sheet. And if you're not familiar with accounting practices, basically you're under the expense line, meaning you're costing your company money. So you are a line item on somebody else's balance sheet. So don't get it twisted. So your job doesn't love you. Now, there may be people at the job that love you, but the job itself does not love you. The company itself does not love you. Companies are in business to make profits. And if by cutting your job, it's going to help them make profits, guess what? That's what's going to happen. So once again, your job doesn't love you. Your job is basically arbitraging your skill set. So they say that, hey, we think you're worth X amount, but to us in value, you're giving us more than that. So we think you're worth $75,000, but I think our value for the company, you're worth $95,000, $100,000. So they're arbitraging your skills to make money. So mindset shift number one is your relationship with your job. Okay, so once again, if they don't need you anymore, trust me, you're going to be gone. So change your mindset that your job is not your best way to make a living. It may be right now, but you need to realize that your genius is your truest and best source to making a living. Let me repeat that. Change your mindset that your job is not the best way to make a living, and realize that your genius, which is the intersection of your passion and your talent. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I believe it's episode number 199, Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius. And your genius is the intersection between your passion and your talent. The problem is people don't know how to monetize that. So if everybody had their druthers, they would probably be making money doing something that they love, doing something that they're good at, and doing something people will pay you for. Okay? So your relationship with your job, change your mindset that your job is not the best way to make a living, and realize that your genius is your truest and best source of making a living. It's just being able to combine everything where you can make a living off of your genius. Number two, this is the next thing that you have to change your mindset. You have to shift your mindset. And number two is what your employer owes you. Okay? So I had a conversation with my oldest daughter about a couple weeks ago, and she was just talking about how her boyfriend's company was overworking him. And so I was like, yeah, that's messed up. So you got to update or get your skills set up so you can find another job or go out on your own. But really, the company doesn't owe you anything except paying you the wages that they've contracted you for. So number two, what your employee owes you, your employer owes you. Your employer doesn't owe you anything but the wages they agreed to pay you. So if you don't like your salary, once again, you got to try to increase your skill set, and maybe you can find another job and become more marketable, or you can take your talents and create your own situation. So don't fall in love with the company and the job because the company and the job's not falling in love with you. Remember, it's a business relationship. That's what it is. You have personal relationships with the people at the company, but it is a business relationship. And just like in number one, your relationship with your job, number two is what your employee owes you, your employer owes you. They don't owe you anything. And many states like Pennsylvania are at-will state, meaning they can fire you at will. They don't even have to have cause. So once again, Don't sit there and say, oh, done all of this for my company. I've done that. I worked overtime. I missed my kids' games. I had to work during the holidays. Guess what? They don't owe you nothing. When you signed up with them for that salary or that hourly rate wage, you signed up for it all. So you got to recognize and understand what it is. So change your mindset about that. Change your mindset from looking for your job to make you happy and decide to make yourself happy, however that may be. Okay? So I've told the story many a time about, one of the greatest joys I had was watching my girls play field hockey and, club teams, travel teams, and in high school. I never missed a game from my youngest daughter's, I think it was a sophomore year or something. Never missed a game. Not a home game, not an away game, not any of the travel games, not any of the club games in the summer, none of that stuff. Because I had freedom and flexibility. And so, once again, you got to take control of that, and your employer doesn't owe you anything but to pay you the wages that they said they were going to pay you. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. So don't be looking for anything more. Change that mindset. Now we're going to talk about number 3. All right, you need to change your mindset about your true value or your worth. Okay, you need to understand what your true value is as it pertains to your value in corporate America and as it pertains to your value when you're out on your own. So what happens is when you go to corporate America, and this was actually another part of the conversation I had with my oldest daughter. When you go to corporate America, they validate what they think that you are worth. Okay, Jay Jones, you're worth X amount of dollars a year. This is what we agreed to pay you, and this is it. So what you're doing, basically, in essence, you're letting somebody else determine your value. And I want to ask you, if you just sit down and think about that, how much sense does that make? Now, I know it's more to it than that. It's not just black and white. Some people aren't entrepreneurs, so they're going to have to work for somebody. Others don't know how to make the transition. But if you really sit down and think about it, why is somebody else going to determine what you're worth? Okay, when did the game change? This was another conversation I had about the Industrial Revolution, and I talked about this on the show before. So before, we had to eat what we caught or what we captured. And then during the Industrial Revolution, when it was easier for somebody to go get a job laying railroad tracks or shoveling coal into a steam engine or whatever, people decided to do that for money as opposed to growing their products or growing their crops, selling their crops, bartering, and doing other things. So when you give somebody control of your income, you got to take everything that comes with it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So you need to understand your true worth. Because just like I said previously, guys, it's an arbitrage play. Nobody's ever going to pay you your true worth at your business, at your company. Because if they did, they wouldn't make money. So it's an arbitrage play. Recognize and understand what it is. And if you're good with that, then don't complain. But if you're looking to take control of yourself, your life, your time, your freedom, then you got to figure out a way to do that. And it's entrepreneurship. Okay. So today, family, we're talking about the 7 mindset shifts that you must have in 2021 and beyond to be a successful entrepreneur. Number 1 was change your mindset as it pertains to your relationship with your job. Number 2, change your mindset about what your employer owes you, which is basically nothing. Number 3, what is your true value or worth? Change your mindset about that. Number 4, your dreams and your visions. So you've received, and this is very key, because without your dreams and your vision for where you want to be in the future, you really don't have anything. So you need to have those dreams and visions so you can attain or look to strive to attain those things. So, for example, you receive your dreams because they were meant for you. So a lot of times what happens is we'll tell our dreams and our visions and our goals to other people, and they'll start laughing at you, or they'll be like, oh man, get out of here. But those dreams and visions weren't for you, weren't for them. They were for you. And so you have to understand, so if you believe in a higher power and you feel that higher power is giving you those dreams and visions, then those dreams and visions are for you. They're not for your mom or your dad, not for your brother or your sister. They're not for your cousin, not for your boyfriend or girlfriend. They are for you. Okay? So your dreams and your visions are based specifically for you, and you need to respect them. Okay? And be bold enough and confident enough to follow those dreams. Now, if it's something that, isn't really realistic, so if you failed out of the middle school, you don't know much about science, you being an astronaut probably isn't realistic, all right? Because you got to have a lot of education and background for that. But when we're talking about your dreams and your vision, nobody can tell you that your dreams are wrong or your visions are wrong, because that is something that is innate with your people. You have been given that. And so don't sleep on it. So in terms of that, change your mindset from hoping your dreams will happen to making your dreams happen. And the way that works, family, is action. Change your mindset from hoping your dreams will happen to making your dreams happen. If I had $1, and I'm not even lying to you, if I had $1 for every time I hear somebody complaining about their freaking job, I wouldn't be talking to y'all right now. I'd be in a hammock somewhere in the South Pacific, because I hear it all the time. And the question is, like I was telling my daughter, so it doesn't matter where you started, whatever position you're in, okay? If you're not happy with it, you got to figure out a way to make a change. You keep focusing and doing what you're currently doing, guess what? Nothing's going to change. So you got to figure it out. That's why I say life is like a puzzle. Entrepreneurship is like a puzzle. Everybody has different pieces to the game. Your puzzle isn't going to look like my puzzle. I have different factors and things and people that I have to take in account of. So you have different people, factors, and things you have to take account of. So you got to figure out that puzzle, okay? But you got to respect your dreams and your visions. And like I said, change your mindset from hoping your dreams and visions are going to happen to making them happen. That's number 4. Let's look at number 5. Change your mindset when it comes to your business ideas, right? So we all have ideas, and to be honest, ideas really are worthless. Okay, everybody has ideas. If I had $1 for everybody that told me their idea, matter of fact, scrap that. If I had $1 for every idea I had, just me, because I come up with ideas all day, every day, right? So I may come up with 5 or 10 ideas. I'm driving somewhere, I see something, I'm listening to something, and oh man, that's a great idea. Ideas are worthless. Okay, you need the ideas, but they're worthless. So your business ideas. So now what you need to know is that you don't know if your idea is good or bad until you test it. So every idea is worthless until it's tested. Okay. So I was listening to an interview with one of the founders of Netflix, and it's funny because they had been going on and on about the concept of Netflix, and it got to the point where they were months in and they hadn't done anything but just, go over and analyze, the pros, the cons, and how they were going to do this. And one of the guys said, it got to the point where it was enough. Enough is enough. We got to put something out there so we can get some feedback. And I always talk about that on the podcast. You got ideas? Go ahead and test the idea. I'm not saying go full bore. Minimum viable product or whatever, minimum viable service. Test the idea, dummy test it without creating a product or service to see if people will buy it. Okay. So number 5, you need to change your mindset about your business ideas. And remember, everybody has ideas, and they're worthless unless you put action behind it. Now, remember, family, entrepreneurs only do 3 things. We think, we create, and we execute. Think, create, and execute. Thinking is the easiest thing. We all think. Like I said, you're going to come up with ideas while you're listening to this podcast. You're probably going to come up with 2 or 3 different ideas. Creating is a little harder because you have to create the environment or the system or the product or service to sell. And last but not least, which is the hardest, is the execution. That's why ideas don't matter unless you can execute on them. How many great ideas have you had, and then you're walking around in the store or you see something like, man, I had that idea years ago. Yeah, so did probably thousands of other people, but this one person executed on it. So once again, you need to change your mindset about your business ideas. So change your mindset from just thinking about business ideas into actually putting those ideas into action. That means testing. Okay. I did an episode probably about 6 or 7 months back, and it was talking about minimum viable product. So the way you can test things, and I'm not going to get too deep into it, but the way you can test things, even if you don't have the product or service ready, is you can run dummy advertising. So I've told this story before, but I got to remember the people that are listening to the podcast for the first time. So if you've heard the story, just indulge me real quick. But I had created a supplement product, and what I did was I found a manufacturer. I got a couple of samples, tried the product out. The product seemed pretty good. And I said, okay, before I go and buy, 500 bottles of this supplement, and the supplement cost me about $4.50 with my label on it. Okay. And so before I started buying all of this, what I did was I ran a test run. So I created a mock-up of the product. I didn't even have the physical product with my label on it, but I created a mock-up. I got a designer to create a mock-up of the supplement. I created a landing page for the supplement, and then I charged $29.95. So how it worked was all you got to do is pay for shipping and handling for the first order to sample the product. Shipping and handling was like $6.95 or something like that. And I'd send the product out, and then 30 days later, you'd be billed $29.95 for the product. So my thing was, I didn't want to go and invest in 250 or 500 bottles of this product unless I knew somebody was going to buy it. So I actually ran the promotion like I had the product on hand. Now, I knew from the manufacturer that, I already had my label created and everything. They could actually deliver in about 5 to 7 days. So I knew, okay, my first order may be a little slow, but this is what I did. I gave myself a number, and I think it was 25 or 30 units. If I sold 25 or 30 units, then I would call the manufacturer. Hey, look, man, I need 100 bottles of this, blah, blah, blah. You already got my label. Send it out, and then I'll fulfill the orders. If I didn't get those 25 or 30 test orders, I would just refund the money. So basically, I was protecting myself from buying, 250, 500 supplement bottles sitting in my garage or office and nobody is buying them. Okay? So once again, your business ideas, change your mindset from just thinking about business ideas into actually putting action behind those ideas. And so you can test. The true test, guys, with a product and or service is somebody going into their pocket and paying you. Now, you can go and ask people, hey, what do you think? Yeah, this is a great idea, great product, great service. Oh, I love it. But that isn't the true test. The test is somebody going into Hip Pocket National and paying for your product or service. And that's a way you can test. And that was with a physical product, but you can do the same thing with a service. That's the way you can test. Okay. So once again, your business ideas. Number 5, change the mindset from just thinking about business ideas into actually putting those into action. Number 6, building your business. You got to change your mindset about this, family, about building your business. So everything that you need to do to help move your business forward, you should be thinking strategically. A lot of times we come up with an idea and we're haphazard and we have no rhyme or reason about how we're going to build this business. So many of us are ill-equipped to build a business because you're not investing in yourself in terms of studying. And this is me. When I started, man, I didn't know anything. I had some ideas, but over a period of time, my 20 plus years as a serial entrepreneur, obviously I've learned things from there. But when you start out, you don't know. I wish I had a mentor when I started. I didn't know where to find one. I didn't know or find anybody or know anybody that I could really trust. I was bouncing stuff off of people, but I didn't know how to build a business. So if you can get a mentor, or you can lock into podcasts like this, or, other forms of content and information, lock in. All right. So you want to change your mindset about building the business. So you need to be very intentional when you build your business and move strategically without wasting a lot of time and money. And that's easier said than done. And a lot of that comes with experience. So move with direction and purpose. And successful businesses aren't built by luck, guys. They're not built by luck. They may look like people are lucky, but they're not. So you have to move with intention and move forward with your business. So what you want to do is you want to change your mindset to be intentional when it comes to building your business. You must have a plan and execute that plan. Number 6, building your business. Change your mindset to be intentional when it comes to building your business. You must have a plan and execute that plan. Now, I'm going to talk real quick about business plans. I've talked about this before. You do not need a 300-page business plan. A business plan is a roadmap. Now, if you're looking for financing or something of that nature, you're going to need a more in-depth business plan. But you don't need a 300-page business plan. A business plan is a roadmap. It is a blueprint. What is going to happen is that your business plan is going to be fluid. It should be, because you don't know what you're getting into until you get in it. So you can have all these projections, you can have all of this gobbledygook in there, but once again, that's just the guide. Your business will be fluid. There'll be things about your business that you don't even know until you get in there and start mixing around. And there are things you can't know because you don't have that experience. That's why I always say you can't have that paralysis by analysis. You need to get some feedback from the universe in order to tell you if this business is going to be successful, or what do you need to do to help make this business successful. So number 6, building your business. Change your mindset to be intentional when it comes to building your business. You must have a plan and execute that plan. So today, family, we're talking about the 7 mindset shifts you must have in 2021 and beyond to be a successful entrepreneur. Number 7, the myth of hard work. Now, pay attention, because you always have to work hard. So hard work is mandatory to build a successful business. But you need to understand several things: the power of leverage, the power of working smarter and harder. And so I'm not going to call out any names, but there's several gurus out there that all they talk about is, oh, nobody's going to outwork me. I work 20 hours a day, 7 days straight for a week. Didn't take any time off, didn't do this, didn't do that. So that is complete nonsense, okay? Because in order to work at maximum efficiency, you need the proper rest. I don't care who you are. You may be able to do that for a couple of days, but you cannot build a business by saying, I'm going to outwork you. That's just like if you're trying to compete with Walmart with low prices, right? You're never going to beat Walmart with the lowest price, because they buy in volume where you can't even think about it. So if your shtick is, we got the lowest prices, you may have it in one item or another, but all across the board, Walmart is the spot. You're not going to beat them. You will never be a great business by saying you're going to outwork everybody. That's complete garbage. All right. Yes, you got to bust your hump. You got to work hard. But to say that nobody's going to outwork me, you don't know how hard somebody's working. And like I said, if you try to live up to some of the stuff that these cats are saying, 20 hours a day, I get up at 3:30 a.m., I don't go to bed till 12, midnight, blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. It's physically impossible to do that for long stretches of time. And once again, think about this. You ever stay up too late, then you go to work or in your own business, or you in school and you try to take a test. You've been so tired that you can't even concentrate. You can't even think straight. That's what would happen literally if you did what some of these gurus are saying. So the myth of hard work, okay, overworking, outworking people, that's a myth. Yes, you got to put your time in and you got to work hard. So I'm not saying don't work hard. But what you need to realize is that you need to you got to understand the power of leverage, okay? Leverage to help you work smarter and harder, okay? So once again, it's humanly impossible to work at maximum efficiency with that little sleep. So the mindset shift needs to be from working hard to working hard, working smart, and using leverage to grow and scale your business. So you shift the mindset from just working hard to working hard, working smart, and using leverage to grow your business. Leverage like software and tools or technology. Okay. Collaborations and strategic partnerships. That's another form of leverage. And leveraging trends. So if you see a trend that can affect your business, then you need to leverage that. So you're changing the myth of hard work. Oh, I just outwork people and I work hard. Yeah, you got to work hard. You got to work smart. And you have to take advantage of leverage. Okay. So those are some of the mindset shifts and changes that we need to make to be a successful entrepreneur in 2021 and beyond. Because I'm telling y'all, it is a mental game. So when I'm, working with some of my coaching students and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, you got a great idea. You got a great product or service. You know exactly what you're doing. There's a market out there for you to serve. Now it's a matter of putting the game plan in order, changing that shift, that mental shift to where now you understand what you need to do to move from point A to point B. And so if your mindset isn't correct, nothing is going to happen. So if you're coming into problems or issues being successful in your business, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Do you have the perseverance to continue to push forward? Do you have the mindset where you're going to be like, okay, this doesn't work. Let me try this and see if that works. All of these are mindset shifts. Okay, so when you're working in corporate America, I use this example a lot when I do some of my talks and speeches before this COVID thing broke that stuff up. But when you work in corporate America and you're assigned a position, you have a job title, and you have responsibilities. It's easier to work into somebody else's framework because you're a cog in the operation. So they say, hey, Jay, this is your job. Your job title is this. These are your responsibilities. This is what you need to take care of every day. Blah, 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 blah. That's easy to fit in. The difference is when you're an entrepreneur, you have to create the system to work, as opposed to just being plugged into an existing system. So just because you're good at your job does not mean you're going to be a good entrepreneur. And to be quite honest, the only way you become a good entrepreneur is by going out there and doing it. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many TV shows you watch. I don't care how many episodes of Shark Tank you watch. It doesn't make a big difference. The only difference is going out there and doing it. Right? And I always talk about this, so excuse me if you've heard me say this again, but once again, they're first-time listeners on it. There's a difference between knowledge and know-how. Anybody can get knowledge. You can get knowledge by watching TV. You can get knowledge by watching somebody fix a car, right? So if I wanted to fly an F-15 fighter jet, I can get that knowledge, right? I can go and watch a documentary on F-15, how to fly an F-15 fighter jet. They can give me the manual, the flight manual, the instruction manual. I can sit in the back seat or a second seat in the cockpit and watch somebody fly the F-15. So that's knowledge. So now here's the test. Now they roll out the F-15 and like, yo, Jay, you know how to fly this? I don't have the know-how because I haven't done it. The only way you get to be a successful entrepreneur is by know-how. Stop playing around with all the knowledge. Yeah, you got to get that. You got to level your skills up. But you have to put things out into the universe so the universe can tell you if they're going to be profitable or not. Or do you need to tweak something? And so once again, that goes back to building your business, and taking action. Because like I said, ideas are worthless. Trust me, everybody's got them. And 99.9% of people aren't even going to act on their ideas. And the 0.01% that does, those are the ones that are the game changers. Those are the ones that build businesses. Those are the ones that build legacy. Everybody's got ideas, family. Think, create, and execute. That's all an entrepreneur does. And the most difficult of them all is execution. Trust me, it doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what your education level is, because entrepreneurship is a vocation. You are a professional entrepreneur. And in order to be a professional entrepreneur, you have to study. You have to do what's necessary for you to become successful. So if you make money by being an entrepreneur, that means you're a professional. An entrepreneur is a profession. Don't get it twisted. Now, if you're not selling something, that means you're running a charity. You're doing it for free. But trust me, entrepreneurship is a profession, and you need to take the same energy and enthusiasm as you do when you go to your job, if you still have that energy and enthusiasm, and you need to throw that into your entrepreneurship journey. So when we're talking about working hard, right, man, when you're an entrepreneur, that's a given. If you're serious about your craft, that's a given. But once again, you got to tie in that leverage, and you got to also work smart. So that's why I'm so big, like with the BEB Academy. The BEB Academy came about because people kept asking me certain things. How do I do this? I don't know about setting up my LLC, my S Corp or whatever. So all of that information and the stuff that I've had to learn over the years by trial and error, I wanted to put that type of education and content in the BEB Academy so people would have access to it. So that's what I'm saying, family. In order to be successful, we got to continue to keep learning and developing our skills. And I just want to say something real quick. This is a shorter show, but I just want to say something real quick to the people that are looking to transition from employee to entrepreneur. And I say this with a kind heart. Okay, not everybody is designed to be an entrepreneur. All right, that's a different animal right there. Okay, so if you're not, that's cool, but try to find a job or position that accentuates what you're good at, something that you can be happy with, something that you're okay with. Now, if you are a true entrepreneur at heart and you still haven't made that transition yet, then what you need to do is to start formulating ideas. And then after you formulate the ideas, which are worth absolutely nothing, because everybody got them, then you got to start testing your ideas. So the best time to start a business, family, is when you have a job. Now, your job may be demanding, but if you truly and seriously want to transition, you're going to do what's necessary. I had a guest on the show that was saying people need to change their mindset about their 9 to 5. They said you need to treat your 9 to 5 like that was your side hustle, and then your 5 to 9 like that's your real job. That's a mindset shift. It changes everything. It changes the whole outlook. It changes the expectation. What am I expecting from my job? A freaking paycheck. Okay. Now you leverage that paycheck into your own business. So it's all about a mindset shift and a mindset change. And so if you're looking to transition, I'm telling you, once again, you got to put the work in, and there's no easy way to transition. Okay, once again, knowledge and know-how. You can spend 2 years studying up on how to be an entrepreneur or start this business, but until you start that business, nothing's going to happen. Make that move. If you're an existing entrepreneur, level up your IQ. Level up your IQ. You know, it's all about building assets, understanding and learning more and more every day. So it's funny, I'm a teacher by nature, but in order to be a teacher, you got to be a student, right? So I love what I do for fun is I read entrepreneurship stuff. I listen to business podcasts. I don't really read for entertainment, because I love entrepreneurship so much. So I sleep this, I breathe this, I eat this. This is me. And so you got to understand, if you really want it, it doesn't matter what situation you're in. Some people are born into better situations than others. You can't worry about another man or woman's situation. Where are you at right now? And where do you want to be? And how are you going to affix those puzzle pieces to get to where you want to be? Don't worry about the next man or the next woman. Don't worry about what they're making, what they're doing, what they're telling you, because it doesn't matter. What matters is being able to level up your skill set. If you're not happy in your job, improve your skill set and make yourself more marketable for another job. Or level your skill set up and then jump out on your own. That's what a lot of people do. So remember, I always said, if somebody is paying you, if you are an employee and somebody is paying you, that means you have value. Because trust me, they're not going to pay you if you don't have any value. I don't care if you're sweeping the floors. That's value to whoever's paying you. Take those same skills that you're getting paid for and use them for yourself. Remember, let me just go over these real quick. Well, actually, before I go over these, because I do want to touch on something, let me share all my social media contact information and my resource links. So I mentioned at the top of the show, my new book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. So if you're interested in building a successful, sustainable e-commerce business, go to anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a copy, $14.95 for the print version, $9.95 for the digital version. Now, if you need additional assistance building your successful, sustainable e-commerce business, my flagship course, Brand Builder Academy Elite, is out, family. You can go to bbaelite.com. It's a 14-week comprehensive program that takes you from point A to point Z in building a physical products brand business or a digital products brand business. You can use the code BBAELITE100 and save $100 off of the program. So that's bbaelite.com. Also, I mentioned at the top of the show, two platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide black economy. The first one is besmartbyblack.com. So if you are a black product producer and you want to sell your products, to black consumers worldwide, upload your product information to besmartbyblack.com. It is free. Okay? And sell your products to black consumers worldwide. Now, if you are a freelancer, if you do anything on Fiverr.com or freelancer.com, you can do the same thing. You can upload your information to hireblackfreelancers.com, HIRE, blackfreelancers.com. Once again, it's free. You can connect with black consumers and black businesses that want to hire black freelancers. Also, I mentioned at the top of the show, the BEB Academy. So you can go to bebacademy.com and you can get 5 free days inside the academy. And in the academy, I have all my online courses and trainings and resources to help you build a business. So you can go in, register, you get 5 days free access, unlimited access to everything in the academy. So it's a try before you buy. Go around, play around with any of the courses, the trainings or whatever. And if you don't like it after 5 days, then just go ahead and cancel. But it's a 5-day free trial, bebacademy.com. Now, in terms of connecting with me, if it's anything long, family, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. I gotta laugh because I be getting DMs and Facebook messages that be like 18 paragraphs long. So anything long, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES @blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Twitter, jjones001. Instagram, jjonesforreal, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. And yes, the show is on YouTube, but I do have additional videos and stuff on YouTube. So just go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint and hit that subscribe button. LinkedIn, connect with me. Just look for J Jones Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Clubhouse, if you're on Clubhouse, you can please follow me at @IamJJones, @IamJJones. And also, if you want to be included in the BEB text lines for specials and notifications, text BEB to 555-888. That's BEB to 555-888. All right, I know that's a mouthful, but you can go to bebconnect.com. And all of that information I just gave you is there. Links to my social media and also to the resources. So bebconnect.com. So let's close out the last segment of the show. So we were talking mindset today, guys, and I'm just going to rehash real quick. Mindset shifts you need to make. Number one, your relationship with your job. Change your mindset that your job is not the best way to make a living. If you're an entrepreneur, if not, then stick with your job. So change your mindset that your job is not the best way to make a living, and realize that your genius is your truest and best source of making a living. And your genius is the intersection between your passion and your talent. Number two, mindset change. What your employer owes you. So you need to change your mindset from looking at your job to make you happy, and decide to make yourself happy. The only thing your job owes you is to pay you the wages that they said they were going to pay you. All right. You want to make yourself happy, then you got to do that on your own. You can't let your job or hope that your job makes you happy. All right. Number three, your true value or your worth. So you want to change your mindset. Change your mindset to understand your true value is determined by you and not anyone else. So when you go and apply for those jobs and you sit across that desk in those interviews and you have one person or a panel of people looking at you, they basically are determining your value. Okay, Jay, you're worth $75,000. Either take it or leave it. That's it. Don't ever let anybody determine your worth. Okay, please don't ever let anybody determine your worth. You may have to do it now, but start moving to the point where you can determine what your own worth is, and that's by having your business. Okay. Number four, your dreams and your visions. You need to change your mindset, okay? Change your mindset from hoping, your dreams will happen to making them happen, taking action. Okay, and remember, your dreams and your visions were given to you specifically, not your family members, not your mother, your father, brother, sister, cousin, aunties, significant others, your wife, whatever, partner. Your visions are given to you, and you got to stand by those visions and follow those dreams. Okay. Next one, number five, your business ideas. Changing basically your mindset on your business ideas. So changing the mindset from just thinking about business ideas as to actually putting them in action. Okay. Putting them in action. So you got to create a plan, and then you got to move through that plan and take action and put something out there. All right. Number six, building your business. You got to change your mindset about that. All right. So change your mindset to be intentional when it comes to building your business. You must have a plan, and you need to execute that plan. So be intentional. Businesses aren't successful by luck. All right. So you have to be intentional. And number seven, the myth of hard work. Obviously, we all need to work hard, but you need to change your mindset to shift from working hard to working hard, working smart, and using leverage to grow and scale your business. And once again, leverage can come in the form of software or tools, collaborations and strategic partnerships, and leveraging trends if possible. Those are just some ideas or forms of leverage. So once again, guys, it's all about the mindset. When you can control that coconut on top of your neck, everything is possible. Everything is possible. My kids crack me up because I always used to tell them that. It's a mental thing. And so you have to have the intestinal fortitude as an entrepreneur to be able to fight through these times. A lot of times we're always worrying about what our counterparts are doing or what our friends are doing. So you may be struggling for 2-3 years or whatever, right? But then your business pops because you've been consistent, you've been persistent, and you've been studying and leveling up your entrepreneur IQ. And so your friend that got out of college the same year as you, your roommate who's making $70,000, $80,000 for the first couple of years, now, you're looking at them and you feeling bad about yourself. You never count nobody's pockets. It don't matter what that person is making because you don't know what goes with that. That person may have to take care of some family members. So you never worry about what another man or woman is making. You worry about your own pockets and worry about what you're designed to do, what your mission is, what your goal is. Focus on that, because if you take your eyes off that and you start looking at that stuff, especially in the day of social media now, you see folks out there, they flossing and all of that stuff, and half of them is full of crap. Oh man, I just bought this new Gucci's and your electric bill about to get cut off. Come on, man. Don't get me started about Gucci and other companies like that, but that's a whole nother episode. But you focus on what you need to do, what you're designed to do. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your visions? Don't worry about anybody else. Don't compare yourself with anybody else. Because when you lay down at dark in the night, you got to answer to yourself. You're not answering to anybody else but yourself. All right. Once again, the battle is between me and me. And once you understand that, then you got the keys to winning. The battle is between me and me. And once you understand that, you have the keys to winning. Now, before we close on our family, I say it each and every week. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, the blog, the BEB ecosystem, everything I talked about, the BEB Academy, Brand Builder Elite, all of that other stuff that I talked about. Be smart, buy black, hire black freelancers. That's the ecosystem around the podcast. So those are resources to help you build your business and elevate your entrepreneur IQ. So you can listen to 346 free episodes. This is what I was telling somebody. You got all kind of free content that I got out. You can listen to all 346 episodes if you want. Free content. If you want to take it up a notch and you want to buy the book, that's $14.95 or $9.95 for the digital version. We got courses and programs, $97 up to $497, and the BEB Academy family, 5 days free, and you get is $29 a month. Access to all of my online training programs and courses except Brand Builder Academy Elite. $29. So if you don't have the funds, you still got the free content. If you want to level up, you got different levels that you can go for the content. So you always got to be improving and elevating your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, entrepreneurship is a profession. So if you're not keeping up on the trends, if you're not keeping your skills up or updating your skills and your skill set, then you're going to fall behind. And the whole purpose of Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the podcast and everything around it, is to build an economic power base in the black community. So in order to elevate, family, we got to take care of the economics. And the best way to do that is to build and support black-owned businesses. Be intentional. Make conscious decisions to seek out and support black-owned businesses. This platform, that's all this is really about in a nutshell. Building an economic power base in the worldwide black economy by building and supporting black-owned businesses. And my piece in that puzzle is helping people to build successful, sustainable businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.